Hey Headfires and Audio Tier Tour members. Wanted to do a quick review of the Fir M5. I have a custom model which is sitting right here in front of us, which is my new go-to in-ear. It is one amazing in-ear setup. I have never heard bass this big before. I also have the LX. It's a very different bass response, very good in its own, but I'd have to say the Fir is bigger. And when I say bigger, I'm not talking a loose fart cannon type bass. I'm talking audiophile, clarity, tightness, and something that I'm finding to be quite alluring. It's hard to move to my other IEMs anymore because I feel like I'm missing something without that bass there. As you can see, they're a beautiful build, and they come with the front modules, which allow your ear safety, and beyond that allows for some tuning. To be honest with you, I have not even gone there much as of yet. I just enjoy the tuning where it's at. But in the case that it comes with, we've got a number of other options that will change the tuning somewhat. When I get over my wow effect, I will probably try some of these others and see just how far they take me. But right now I'm preferring where I'm sitting, and like I said, this is my go-to. It's my go-to for listening at night. It's my go-to for going out and exercising during the day. It's my go-to to hear that last ounce of butterfly wing type detail. It is just one amazing IEM. So packaging, here's what we get with packaging. It's nice, to say the least. It's nothing special when you start getting used to the nice packaging that comes with these high-end IEMs. Like, I guess I'm getting somewhat spoiled. Cable goes under, the case goes in here. There's warranty card, but pretty basic. What matters is what we've got here. The case itself is pretty darn nice. This is a nice soft leather case. It's got all the working parts you would ever need in there. It holds oversized cables very nicely. This is a little bit larger case than I've gotten with the other in-ears, so it provides me with that room, even though it's got a little bit of equipment at the bottom. So in the lineup, of course, the M5 is their top tier. We're talking about an E-stat, giving those butterfly wing highs without the splashiness. It is a very intense, in-your-face, detailed type fun and an active environment. The LX, on the other hand, is a laid-back type of presentation. And that laid-back presentation is, it feels like you're a bit back from the action, where this puts you right up intimate and on stage with the band. That doesn't mean that it's closed in or congested. It is a nice big presentation. It's just full-sized. You don't have to turn the volume up high to be able to get that full-size presentation. It just provides it in oodles. What's really nice about this lineup is you've got the same bass driver that's in the M5, in the M4, the M3, and the M2. So you can get all the way down to $799 with the M2 and have that same bass performance. The difference, as you can see in this chart, is the stat high that's in the M5. You get a little bit more splashiness and BA treble that comes out in the 4, 3, and the 2. The 3 out of the lineup seems to be pulled back a little bit. It's a little bit more of laid back, where the M2 and the M4 are more in your face. The M2 and the M4 are very similar, with the M4 being more resolute. But when I go to the M4 from the M5, I really miss those stats in that audiophile treble that I'm starting to get used to. The stats are still relatively new, and there's a lot of different implementations, but Fir got it just right. Bogdan obviously knows what he is doing. So that being said, I went with a design that was a little different for me, with wood. I put it together through the designer. The designer copy looks like this, and this is the results. It looks as good as what I put forth, and better. One thing of note with this M5 unit is that it's got a proprietary setup with the cables, so you're not going to be able to work with your normal cable set. You're going to have to get an adapter if you want to roll cables. I have to say, I really do enjoy the cable that's on it, and I have not really seen a need to move to something new. So it's not been a big deal to me. But while I had the tour kit, and yes, we are doing a tour of the full kit here in the US, so feel free to join and hear these for yourself. But while I had the tour kit, there are adapters in the high-end version of the kit that allows you to roll cables. So I did roll some very nice cables onto this, and yeah, I did see some performance boost, but in the end, they were slight compared to what we get with the proprietary cable. So quite happy where we're at, but knowing myself, I am definitely going to get that adapter so I can play, since I have so many cables rolling through the house. That being said, in terms of comparisons, it is a really hard, it's a hard in-ear to compare. It has a unique sound all to itself. This bass driver, there is something special about it. It is a 10 millimeter, which is a little larger than most. The big ones out there are 9.7. You do see some of the cheaper ones that have larger size, but in terms of a high-end in-ear, I think that 10 millimeter is about as big as I've seen. But it hits hard, it goes deep, and and you feel the punch. You feel it in your chest. But the vents built in allow you to listen comfortably without taking a beating. So it is a uniquely enjoyable experience. I mentioned earlier that this is a full-size signature, which is the most unique thing for me. I'm a low-level listener, and I tend to lose a lot of detail in my low-level listening. I don't like having high volumes because quite often I'm listening at night or even going to sleep, and I like the lower levels. With this particular in-ear, you can do that and not lose the fidelity. You've got a bass that is full size, and you've got full size attributes surrounding it. The sound stage sounds like all the characters are on the same stage. There's no drummer in a room in the back of the stage with the door locked. They're all right there and within reach, but they are spread out, and there's black space between them. And it offers a very holographic image. So you'll see I have it connected to my my Sony, the WM1A. It offers a warmer signature, and it works really well. It drives the M5 really nicely. The sensitivity in these M5s is quite low. So what I found is this M5 sounds wonderful with my going into my iPhone. So I don't have to play the Sony to get most of the fidelity out of it. It does sound better with the Sony, and it does scale up all the way to the stratosphere with my Burson C3R. But I am getting perfect performance out of my iPhone, and this is why I'm able to take it out for a bike ride and enjoy it. The bass response is big, so I don't feel like I'm losing anything with road noise. It's a wonderful experience. So full-sized, it plays real well at low volumes without losing fidelity. It scales all the way down to an iPhone. It scales all the way up to my Burson, and is almost as good as my Thuman on the Burson. Thuman goes a little bit past it, but the Thuman doesn't scale down at all, so I can't take it away from my Burson. So in terms of usability, the M5, as I said in the beginning, is my go-to because it works in every use case. It's very unique. I did make mention of the bass a number of times, but I do need to emphasize this is a audiophile bass and is extremely detailed. So it's not in the way. It's a balanced formula with a nice mid, a nice treble response, and a nice bass. It might be described by some people as a W, but I see it as fairly balanced. It is also very deep in its presentation. So given its depth, it may not seem as wide as some, but that depth gives it some holographic soundstage and premiere sizing. Anyways, to sum up, I am having a whole lot of fun with these in-ears, and they have taken over as a obsession for me, and I don't think that anything is going to replace it anytime soon. And as you know, I'm surrounded by some wonderful in-ears, so that's quite a statement. I have a full review coming out on the M5, which will be up online here in the next week, and I will provide a link to it as soon as it's available in the description of the video here. This is Barra signing out. Hope you join the tours. You'll find tour links, review links, and everything else in the description. So if you're in the US and want to become part of our membership, feel free to join. We are starting to take in Canadian members, and we are in discussions to bring in European members as well. So those in the EU might be happy to hear that. Again, Barra signing off, and am excited to hear the comments coming back from our tours to see how everybody feels about it within their own environment.